In 2019, Little League celebrated its 81st year. Even today, every Little League player lives their dream. Many children carry that passion to another level. They grab a glove and a ball and they take it to the field as a member of a youth baseball team. Cleveland's first level of travel baseball is for children ages 9 to 12 that we call youth baseball. 300 players, 20 different teams played on Monday and Wednesday evenings, and it was a total of over 82 games that were played. It was a summer filled with lots of rain in the beginning, and then the sun came. And then it was time for everybody to enter into the playoffs. The players had the support of their coaches, friends, and family along the way. Welcome to Brookside Park, newly renovated field called Talty Field at the Jim Thome Complex Athletic Complex for the Cleveland Youth Championship game between the Estabrook Sox and the Zelma George Black Sox. Hi, I'm Tim Wells and my partner Mike Serpatowski are in the house. And Mike, when you talk about youth baseball, what can we expect to see here tonight?
You know, when you're talking about 9 to 12-year-olds, you never know what to expect. You're going to be surprised, and some of the plays that will be made will be really spectacular. And there's a passion for the game with these kids, and they're learning the fundamentals, and they're getting to feel what it feels like on a beautiful synthetic turf field, Talty Field.
Well, as you can see, they're ready to go. So right now we're going to go over to Edwin Santiago for the player introductions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jim Thome All-Star Complex here at Talty Field at Brookside Reservation for the 2019 Youth Baseball Championship featuring Zelma George Black Sox and the Estabrook Sox. Let's meet the Zelma George Black Sox. It's an 8th grader at Paul Lawrence Dunbar, number 10, shortstop John Feliciano. 6th grader out of Shaker Middle School, number 12, second baseman Darquise Hines. Wearing number 8 is a pitcher from St. Adelbert, Andrew Cole. 8th grader at Beechwood, wearing number 4, playing third base, Martez Pinckney. 6th grader at Woodbury Elementary, a pitcher, number 2, Emery Landrum. Number 3 is a first baseman from Shaker Middle School, Carlson Landrum. Wearing number 13, playing the outfield, 7th grader at Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Jaden Feliciano. Third baseman wears number 1 from Christian Valley Academy, Chase Brown. 5th grader from Hilltop Elementary, catcher number 19, Doobie Carroll. 8th grader at Wings Academy, playing left field, number 7, Joshua Knuckles. Outfielder number 20, 7th grader at Holy Name, Tiavana Clements. 5th grader at Holy Name, outfielder number 15, Greg Clements. 6th grader at Greenview Elementary, number 6, pitcher Jaden Downing. Extra player in the lineup, number 6 at 6th grader at George Dodge, Joseph Farrell. 6th grader at Harvey Rice, number 5, Jonathan Spikes. Zelma George Black Sox are managed by Mr. Mike Stennett and assisted by Mr. Tom O'Rourke and Mr. Patrick Carroll and Mitchell Dorsey. Introducing Estabrook Sox. 4th grader at Mary Queen of Peace, number 20, second baseman Braden Minute. 7th grader at Old Brooklyn, number 14, playing left field, Matthew Vega. 8th grader from Wilbur Wright, left center fielder, number 7, Leo Ellington. 7th grader at Mary Queen of Peace, number 10, pitcher Anthony Minute. Number 12 is a shortstop from Mary Queen of Peace, Cody Hall. 8th grader at Madison School, first baseman, number 16, Damian Thompson. Number 1 is the extra hitter in the lineup from Mary Queen of Peace, 7th grader, Parker Hall. 7th grader at Old Brooklyn, number 3, catcher Ishmael Sastre Jr. Third baseman wears number 18, 5th grader at Mary Queen of Peace, Connor Woolever. 6th grader at St. Rocco's, right fielder, number 17, Marcus Gonzalez. 6th grader at Brooklyn International, number 8, right center fielder, Xander Rowland. Number 13 is the extra hitter in the lineup. 7th grader at St. Thomas More, Ricky Miller. 6th grader at Columbia Station School, number 15, Jose Rivera. Estabrook Sox are managed by Anthony Minute and assisted by Brian Trimble. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise for the playing of our national anthem. Trumpeter for today for the national anthem, Mr. Rick Peters. Colors are being held today by VFW Post 2850.
Well, there you have our player introductions. And again, we'll have a ceremonial first pitch here in a minute. But while they're doing that, first, Mike, we'll talk about some of the rules that we have. And talking about some of those rules, what are they going to have to deal with as far as the modifications?
Well, first of all, this is going to be a 5-inning game. The batting order, teams match up with the number of players in each team's lineup. Base distance is 70 feet, pitcher's distance 50 feet. The pitcher may pitch only 4 innings. There's a mandatory play rule. Everyone must bat and everyone must play the field. There is a run spread rule of 10 runs after 3 innings. Slaughter rule, 5 runs.
We'll have Mr. Anthony Eder from the Cleveland Indians to throw out our ceremonial first pitch.
So there it is, Anthony Eder from the Cleveland Indians, and he'll be a guest here on TV20 as we'll talk about some of the things that they've done. And really, the Indians and MLB, they have stepped up big time here at the Talty Field. As you can see, the new renovation. So now, Mike, when we finish up these rules.
Yes, finishing off. The slaughter rule, 5 runs in each of the first 3 innings. Speed up rules, an intentional walk. No pitches have to be thrown. Courtesy runner for the catcher. Drop third strike rule, no advance by the runner. The batter is out. Stealing is permitted once the ball passes the plate. Steals of second and third base only. No cheap runs.
And obviously, the people that are going to officiate the game, certified through the Ohio High School Athletic Association, a veteran crew at that. Again, our home plate umpire is Mike Call, the guy in the middle. 10 years as an umpire, 1975 graduate of Cleveland Central Catholic. Works over at the Berea School Districts as a transformation department. And at first base on the immediate left is Chester Murphy, 33 years as an umpire, graduate from Marin County in Alabama. He's retired from Mount Sinai. And on the right, Claude Legino, a 1967 graduate from John Hay Hornets, and again retired from RTA. So obviously, Mike, when we look at these two teams, it really starts with the starting lineup in the pitching. First, we'll start off looking at the Zelma George starting lineup. Leading off will be Juan Feliciano, their outfielder, number 10. Darkus Hines is playing center 12. Andrew Cole, one of the key players, and we'll talk about him. He's at third. Emery Landrum, the pitcher, number 2. Carlos Landrum, the big first baseman, number 3. Jaden Feliciano over at second. Chase Brown will be in the outfield and playing right. Debbie Carl will be the catcher, and the extra hitter is Josh Knuckles. And when you look at the defense, Mike, for the home team, again, you're talking about the Estabrook Sox. Tell us a little bit about them.
All right, we have in the infield, we have Damian Thompson at first base. We have Brandon Minute at second base. We have Cody Hall playing shortstop. We have third baseman Ricky Miller. Behind the plate, Ismael Sostre. In the outfield, we have from left to right, Matthew Vega, Leo Ellington, Xander Rolland, and Marcus Gonzalez.
And earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Estabrook Sox, Anthony Minute, to tell us about his starting pitcher, Anthony Minute Jr. We'll take a look at that right now.
My starting pitcher is Anthony Minute Jr. Key to success for him today is to keep control of his pitches, take his time, be patient, and he should be fine.
So again, Anthony Minute, big guy out there, number 10. And he pumps in his second pitch for a strike, a 1-1 count. And we'll talk a little bit about the teams and how they got here. And also joining us very shortly will be Anthony Etter from the Cleveland Indians to tell us about all the great things that have been taking place. As you see one of them right now here at home. This has been done through Major League Baseball, the Cleveland Indians and the city coming together to make a huge difference for kids to play. So strikeout number 1 going down for Zelma George was their leadoff batter. So batting second is Darquise Hines, number 12. He's playing center field.
Darquise is a Shaker Middle School student. He's in 6th grade.
First of all, the Estabrook Sox come in here with a 6-0 record. Playoff wins, 15-0 over Collinwood Recreation, 14-0 over Thurgood Fairfax, 8-1 over Cadell and Halloran.
Both of these teams are undefeated. They've had a great season. So this matchup is the two best teams this year.
Foul that one off. And Mike, when we had a chance to talk to the Estabrook Sox about some of the keys for the game, what did he tell you?
Well, he said his pitchers have to have control, and they need to throw strikes, stay on the plate. Don't. Oh, nice swing. They need to hit with men on base, and their two key clutch hitters are number 10, Anthony Minute Jr., and number 3, Ismael Sostre Jr.
You can see right there swinging at a high pitch. So now it'll be up to their shortstop, Andrew Cole, number 8, getting 667 on the year. And again, Andrew Cole talking about his favorite tribe, team, and player, Indians and Francisco Lindor. Of course, he's already made up his mind he's going to be playing in the Major League Baseball, which we're going to talk to Anthony about that pretty soon, because every kid's dream is always to play in the major leagues.
I think you need to have a backup plan too, right?
Yeah. But hey, go for it. That's what they always tell you. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it.
Dream big dreams.
Takes one down low. 3-0. He's falling behind.
Yeah, he's having a little tough time with this very tall, lanky Andrew Cole.
Fouls one back. On deck and looking to get up here next is Martez Pinckney, their third baseman, and he's one of the tough hitters as well. The heart of this lineup that Mike Stennon's put together, those are the ones that got to come through for him today to get on.
Yep, 3, 4, and 5 hitters. They're batting 600 and above. And he takes a pass.
So there's the first walk of the ball game. And now it will be Martez Pinckney coming up, the third baseman, number 4. And Martez Pinckney, Indians, Carlos Santana. How come always these big guys, Mike, have that same body mode as the player they favor? Doesn't that happen all the time?
Absolutely.
Home ball, high off the mound. Good throw.
Nice play by the pitcher.
So they did a nice job. That brings us to the half of the inning here. They get no runs, no hits.
2 strikeouts that inning.
You can see he leaps up here, takes his time, makes the good throw.
Number 4 ran the ball out too, ran his hit.
As you're looking here is our high cam, you can see Brookside Park. Again, you're talking Talty Field, you got the sand volleyball court. This is all part of Metro Parks. And again, folks, if you have not been down here, you're missing a lot. You need to come down and see the Jim Thome All-Star Complex. And right after you get the lineup in here, we're going to bring in Anthony Etter and talk about what's been taking place. But let's go over the home team and their batting lineup. It'll be Brandy Minette at second base, Matthew Vega at number 14, Leo Ellington, Anthony Minette, Cody Hall, Damian Thompson, Parker Hall, Ishmael Sastre, Connor Holever, Marcus Gonzalez. Defensively for the Zelma George team. Mike, tell us about the defense.
On the defensive side, Zelma George Black Sox. From left to right in the outfield, we have Josh Knuckles, number 7, Jean Feliciano at number 10, Darquise Hines, number 12, and in right field, William Davis, number 11. At shortstop, Andrew Cole, number 8. Second base, Jaden Feliciano, number 13. Third base, Martez Pinckney, number 4. Number 3, Carlson Landrum at first. The catcher is 19, DeJean Carroll, and the pitcher, number 6, is Emery Landrum.
Well, we had a chance to catch up to Pat Carroll, the assistant coach of the Zelma George Black Sox, to get his starting pitcher's views from the coach on Emery Landrum.
Our starting pitcher today is Emery Landrum. In order for Emery to be successful today, he has to control the strike zone against a deep lineup.
So again, you're looking at Emery Landrum warming up, and we are at the middle of the first inning. So first of all, we want to bring in Anthony Etter from the Cleveland Indians. Anthony, welcome to TV20.
Thanks, Tim. It's great to be here, definitely. Man, how about this field?
Oh,
unbelievable. The kids look like they're having a ball out there, and you know, it all started off during All-Star Week here, and it's cool to see some of familiar faces from that game that was played right after the field renovation unveil, and then here today at the championship game.
And again, when you talk about the Cleveland Indians and commitment to the community, I mean, you can't tell me there's anybody bigger in Major League Baseball that does what Cleveland does.
Well, first and foremost, thank you definitely for the kind words. And, you know, we certainly strive to do that each and every day with whatever task is ahead of us. You know, something as small as just returning a phone call to something as large as, you know, a field renovation like this. We try to put our best 100% effort into whatever we do, because we do care about the people within the Cleveland community.
And obviously, for a lot of our folks, they're seeing this for the first time, but it's been more than just a Talty Field. Let's talk about what was done just this year alone.
Yeah, this year, unbelievable with the different legacy projects that we teamed up with the city of Cleveland, and then of course Major League Baseball since the All-Star Game was a Major League Baseball event. But to lead off the legacy projects this year, King Kennedy, the Larry Doby Playground at King Kennedy Boys and Girls Club. Really cool significance there. It was actually the first legacy project MLB ever did with us back in '97. We renovated the playground from '97. This year for the kids, unbelievable to see that project come together and all the history around it. Obviously the field renovations first starting with the Luke Easter Park on the east side of Cleveland. Really neat component there as one of the teams participating tonight, the Zelma George team. They're out of that rec center, which is right next door to Luke Easter Park, and then obviously the Talty Field here at Brookside Reservation. Both two very historic places in the city of Cleveland, with Luke Easter Park being the largest city park in Ohio, and then also Talty Field with the historic game here at the old Brookside field number 1. So very neat to be able to do that this year with the help of MLB, City of Cleveland, the Metro Parks, especially for this park here, and various other donors that helped contribute to that.
We've got Matthew Vega up, the left fielder. He's one of their big hitters.
The other thing, Anthony, that sticks out in my mind, we see this field, we see everything that's been done, but it's been much more than that for the Cleveland Indians when you're talking about not just on the physical standpoint, but what you've done for the kids in Cleveland. You can take the Cleveland Metropolitan School System, where a baseball program and a girls' fast-pitch program was in trouble years ago, and the Cleveland Indian Charity stepped up and made that happen. The kids that play in our leagues here get an opportunity to play free, just basically because it's Cleveland Indian Charities that has come by and said, we're going to make this happen. We're going to get kids the opportunity. And the other part that's really been the best part of all is I think the message has been loud and clear. It's more about just to the game. We want them to teach them some life lessons.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. Absolutely. One of our areas of focus is improving the quality of youth baseball and softball in Northeast Ohio, and that's very vague, as you're mentioning. There's a lot of different components to that. The physical with fields and uniforms, as we like to definitely point out today too, with the uniforms that the teams are playing with, but the coach development that we do with the Indians' way of coaching excellence, going to the city of Cleveland coaches last year as a pilot program, and then this year with the Senate League coaches. It was a great experience, great feedback from both of those entities, and just trying to go to the coaches first, because they are like parents, right? They're the mentors for these kids out there to help them utilize baseball and softball to grow as a person first and foremost, then work on those baseball and softball skills. So it's great to see that, and I'm very blessed personally to be a part of it, being a Clevelander, born and raised here, and to be able to contribute each and every day through the Cleveland Indians name, and through all the hard work leading up to my time here with the Indians is just definitely a blessing.
And for the folks at home, history was set in 2019, and it all became part because it was Cleveland Indian Charities that stepped up. And for the first time in the city of Cleveland, youth baseball started this spring, where teams were allowed to start playing as early as in April and play all the way through to July and get more games played because of that. And as we talk about it, we talked about how do we make it work, what are we going to do. It was Cleveland Indian Charities that stepped up and made it happen. And the two teams that you see playing here today, their season started back in early April. Now, we got doused with a lot of rain, but we got a lot of games in. And now with the turf fields at Luke Easter, League Park, Brookside Talty Field, hey, we're playing. It was the greatest thing you could ever give into the city of Cleveland and our kids. And Anthony, I hope you go back and let him know, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. Absolutely. You know, it was really great seeing the development and the growth throughout the year with the different ideas that we had preseason, and then just come together with that too. I do definitely want to, you know, point out some other of those projects during the All-Star Week. You know, obviously we do put a lot of focus in our youth baseball and softball areas, but also the police and police, fire, and military. There was a house redone at Baldwin Wallace University, a veterans house. Now the veterans there can go and be social with each other. You know, if they're in class, do their homework together there, just hang out, have a good time there. We mentioned the playground at King Kennedy for the Boys and Girls Club, but there was also another one for the Boys and Girls Club, and that was the Digital Arts Center at East Tech High School. So, you know, just trying to reach out to those kids in the Cleveland area to say there's a lot of good things going on. We're here to help. We can utilize baseball, softball. We can utilize police, fire, military. We can utilize the arts as well, all digital arts, all those different components that come to there, music, and really, you know, help them grow as they move on, you know, each year and into adulthood. So it's great to be a part of all those different areas of the city.
So leading off here in the top of the second is number 3 from the Zelma George Black Sox, and that's Emery Landham, the pitcher. And Anthony, we hope you have a little time to stick with us. We want to talk about a little bit about the RBI program and things that have really taken off. So here we are, Emery Landham, the pitcher. Again, he is a Cubs fan, Javier Bardez. A little bit of a shocker. He had a big hit in the playoff game against Kovacic, doubled and scored. He's only a 6th grader over at Woodbury.
He's a big 6th grader.
Yes,
that's
he
for
is.
Sure.
You got a lefty on the mound. So, Tim, I think we're going to see a little bit better defense this year. So far, we've got very true hops, and the shortstop has made some good plays in this nice synthetic turf field.
You know, you watch the kids playing on turf, and you can see, Anthony, they have more confidence that they're not going to get that bad hop.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, look good, feel good, you know, you play good. So I think definitely the field contributes to that too, but you got to give it up to these guys also putting the hard work in. I definitely wanted to point out, you know, the pass ball and the walk there. Catcher hustling back to get the ball. The batter who walked, he's jogging down, getting down there, you know, so I'd like to see that good effort out there by all the guys.
And the other thing, folks at home, which Cleveland Indian Charities, again, was a big part, is if you look at the uniforms that they're wearing today, those uniforms and jerseys were provided through Cleveland Indians, dry fit jerseys. It's a big trade from where we were a year ago, Mike, with the old T-shirts.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's and it seems like they stay a little bit cooler in these shirts too. They seem to breathe a little bit better, so they're not as hot. And these synthetic turf fields do heat up a little bit there. Fortunately, we play most of our games in the evenings.
You know, I got to share this with you, Mike and Anthony. I got a call from a parent that wanted to get their kid to join the team. You know, I said, oh, well, what area, blah, blah, get him registered. She goes, oh, no. I want my kid to be on the Indians. I saw him out there playing for the Indians. I want him on the Indians.
Good. That's what we like to hear. I mean, obviously it's the script Indian across the, as fans can see at home, the script Indian across the front chest there. But I think the shirt really represents the collective effort.
Yes, it does.
You know, to make this happen, make youth baseball and softball happen in Cleveland. The Indians, the Cleveland Baseball Federation, and the city of Cleveland too. So all represented there, and it's going to take that collective effort to keep this going. throughout the next couple of years for sure.
Very true.
Next man up, we'll look at it here, Mike, on the strikeout. You can see right on the outside corner, good pitch. Now Jaden Feliciano, you might remember him. He won this championship 2 years ago. A lot bigger kid today. And he roped one to center.
Oh,
and it got by him. Oh, this could be a one. He'll come around third and score. He's heading to third. It looks like the coach is going to send him. Here's the throw. And he's in there. Oh, my.
I think he ran out of gas coming around third base.
Look at it here.
Jalen or Tyler Naquin in the park home run. I thought he was going to throw up the rock and roll sign at the end there.
Better believe it.
It was a good cutoff throw.
So now up is Chase Brown, and he's playing right field now. And Chase hitting over 600 on the season. And again, the young man is at Valley Christian Academy. He's an 8th grader. His favorite player is Jose Ramirez.
Tim, if I can point out a defensive area I saw, or pointer there, and for anyone watching or listening, and for the youth here, and you always got to have your teammates back, right? So, you know, something I think the coaches over on Estabrook can mention to their corner outfielders. You see that ball hit on a line there, always help your center fielder out. It was funny, I pointed it out yesterday at the Indians game to Matt Cata. We were watching it together, and there was a line drive to Mercado in center field, and what'd you know, Naquin and Greg Allen are right there backing up just in case that ball would have gone by. They were there for their backup. So just like, you know, that's why baseball has those similarities to life lessons. You got to always, you know, back up your family, your friends and stuff, and same thing with your teammates out here on the ball field.
Absolutely, and there's they tell you that sports and baseball especially, which has been my love for my whole life, baseball, that it teaches you so many lessons, you know, about teamwork and working together. And you're right, the team defense, it seems like anytime a ball is hit, especially at the youth level, we always have a tendency to stand and look instead of moving. So we got 2 down here. And now it's going to be up to Dobby Carroll.
Uh-oh, the boss man's coming down.
Yeah. I think the ump's going to go over to the coach and tell him, hey, what are you doing here, man?
You can't be touching the player. We have that happen before recently, Tim.
Hey, I'm learning that nothing should ever cease to amaze you. Something as minor as that is not a big thing anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
He's trying to give him some
But
encouragement.
let me talk about something that we talked about from some of the RBI stories I've heard. One of the things is we've always talked about those RBI players giving back. And this year, my understanding is they went over by St. Rocco's and did a project of landscaping and dealing with some housing. Tell us a little bit about that, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure much detail on it, but, you know, I love the fact that CBF is promoting what the kids are doing. Yeah, I saw the post last night on social media, the team winning championship game, and then the community initiative events that they're doing as well. I saw that post, and it was really neat. You know, that's what we want. You see the big leaguers do it all the time too when they promote the good work that they're doing in the community. We have numerous players on our roster with the Cleveland Indians that are tremendous with giving back, and it's great seeing kids in the community doing the same.
And folks at home, I want you to know that the teams that are playing out here today, they started their season over at Zelma George Gym and Estabrook's gym, and I remember the vivid day. Tyler Naquin had the game-winning hit. It was a walk-off. And the next day, he was there at Estabrook that morning, and we had, I think, mustard and ketchup or somebody there with them.
Slider, someone.
Slider and everybody. I mean, they were just like, oh, my Lord.
Yep.
Well, it was a good inning for Zelma George. They picked up 2 runs on the home run.
So, we're at the middle of 2, but Anthony, those kind of things that the Cleveland Indians have done this year, I think they have stepped up so big, so well. And you look at here, this TV20, look at this play ball. Wow. And it's so amazing. This is our upper cam from TV20, and really it is all about the play ball program and doing it the right way and the coaching and everything you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, MLB's got a great spokesman. I wish he was playing in Cleveland. That's Mike Trout, but with the play ball campaign and you know, Frankie is our go-to for that too, our representative for that, Francisco Lindor, that is. But yeah, it's simple, you know, just go out and play. You know, and the message too, it's great definitely having fields like this one, but you know, for those kids that are hesitant and stuff, that are making a decision, do I stay inside and play video games, or do I go out and play with my friends? Go out and just play ball, you know, grab a ball, grab a friend, and just start tossing it, you know. And I remember with my best friend playing deep fly ball when he had a backyard fence, and I would throw him a pop-up. He was an outfielder, I was a catcher, and we would do that for hours and hours. So trying to rob a home run, and just go out and play, and that's what the big leaguers love to do. That's why they're there, and that's why you know, that same kind of idea and you know, thought for these kids. That's what's important for them.
And then obviously, folks at home, the great news we talked about, not only the spring league, but also this Friday, the Cleveland Indians are going to host 2 teams representing the Cleveland Indians, the city of Cleveland, as they'll go to Vero Beach, Florida. They were regional champions, and they will go there for the World Series. They'll be honored before the Indians' home game this Friday. And again, it doesn't happen without everybody giving back and teaching those skills. But they went in there and they played some tough teams. The White Sox, the Cubs, the Cardinals. I think we had 4 1-1 games. I was asking my coaches, how's your heart? Are you still okay?
Yeah, we're talking with Olivia and Alicia, you know, earlier this week. They mentioned, and Rob Anderson too, just the atmosphere down there for regional was awesome, and the kids were just motivated, having a good time playing, and we wish them definitely the best of luck in the next couple weeks here as they compete and most importantly represent the city of Cleveland, the Cleveland Indians, as they compete in the RBI World Series.
You look at it right here. Again, Anthony Minnitt, ground ball right to the second baseman. Nice step and throw. And again, the second baseman, Jaden Feliciano.
I believe they're cousins, right, Tim? Jaden and...
Yeah. They had a walk-off, I think it was last year.
Yes.
You know, and it was a walk-off win to win the championship.
And those cousins, they played a significant role in that game. We can't forget about the new scoreboards, Tim. Yeah, brand new scoreboards at Talty and Luke Eastern.
Absolutely.
Courtesy of the Indians in American Major League Baseball.
So Anthony, when you come out to events like this, doesn't that signal to you, hey, all that hard work we do at the office, all the stress and all that, like, hey, it was worth it?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. You know, just seeing these kids out here competing just definitely brings a lot of satisfaction for sure. But that's what we do. That's, I think, truly what I'm here to do, and I enjoy doing. And And I know my teammates back in the office feel the same way. And definitely, you know, I might get yelled at for not saying this earlier, but, you know, my boss, our executive director, the Cleveland Indians Charities, and the Community Impact Department, definitely, you know, a huge round of applause for her and her efforts, that being Rebecca Kodish, for all the different legacy projects put in place and just keeping us on track to continue improving the quality of youth baseball and softball in Northeast Ohio. And it's great to have her, you know, kind of leading that charge for us. And I'm definitely excited to see what the future has in store.
Well, I know that the very first time I met her, we were down at Progressive Field. And she told me, she said, Tim,
you cannot hold the ball.
Oh, my.
All right, Doobie, just bounce back, man. That's what I'm saying.
That's
See,
what it is.
we got to watch him, you know. See, he's the leader out there as a catcher, right? All
Right.
eyes are looking at you. Just bounce back, turn the page, and move on. Help your teammates get better.
Yeah, he held the ball rather than get it into the second baseman.
There you go.
Big swing. Got it in the count, 1-2.
He's got to get that runner home.
How was that first encounter, Tim, when you met Rebecca?
Well, it was, she said to me, she said, Tim, you know, I'm a Clevelander. And I said, that's great. And she says, you give me a little time and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, because, you know, I've always believed this in my heart, that if you give our Cleveland kids the same chance and the same opportunities as other kids, our kids are going to flourish. Because they're tougher. They don't get everything. A lot of kids that we deal with, you know, we got to worry about a meal, or we got to worry about getting where they got to get to. And those are the kids that, you know, they wouldn't get this. And if the Indians didn't support and we didn't have the RBI and all that, I know from the first time I got involved, I said, oh my God, they're going on a plane. They've never been on a plane. They've never been to a city. Or, you know, it's like, these kids, we got to go buy them some regular pants to go to this dinner thing. And that's kind of the thing that we look back, not saying that we're all that way, but what we've done is we've been able to reach out to them and help those that are a little bit less fortunate than the other kids. And the amazing thing is that Rebecca has always said to me, Tim, I want to make sure that we do everything we can to make it. And I've heard it from, you know, not only Rebecca, but Dennis Slayman, the Indians, and even when the owner was here when we had the celebration.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know.
Oh, boy. That's going to the fence. Oh, nice play.
That was a good, who's that? Who's number 16 there?
That's Damian Thompson.
And he fouled off 2 pitches and stayed persistent and got a pitch in the zone and just took it over to right center field. That's a good piece of hitting for sure.
So this is Parker Hall, 2-1 ball game, folks.
This kid looks like he hit the ball too.
He looks like he should be on the other field playing softball.
He's a hitter.
Adult softball, that is.
He's from Mary Queen of Peace. He's a 7th grader. Listen to this, Mike. Did you see his career? He wants to become a chef. That's what
I like that.
Oh.
That's a heck of a profession. You can go places.
But, hey, I can tell you this. He's still with Francisco Lindor and the tribe.
He's looking like Jim Thome a little bit.
Well, you got to give Landrum credit. He's been around the plate, throwing strikes.
Nice pitch.
He's out because first base was occupied. So 2 down. And now Ishmael Sastre Jr.
Batting 500, and I guess this is their relief pitcher. He'll be coming in a couple of innings. What happened now?
Coach Mike's on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
First base occupied.
Now, this young man, Ishmael Sastre, let's take a look at it one more time for you at home. If Colin was here, I'd say, okay, Colin, explain the rule. But I know Anthony knows this just as well. There's a man who was on first base. Why did he send it back, Anthony?
First base is occupied, so even with the pass ball, you got to stay there. If first base was open, and 2 outs, then you could go on that pitch.
Swing and a miss. Sastre, one of their biggest hitters, a catcher. And listen to this, he just turned 12, Mike, a couple months ago.
Really?
Oh, my Lord. He went 2 for 2 against Conwood with 2 home runs in a playoff game. And he wants to be a police officer. Can
awesome.
you picture him in a few years being, I wouldn't want to, I'd say, whatever you tell me, officer, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks, I wonder if he plays football.
I got to meet him after the first pitch. He caught my first pitch there. Very respectful. You can always tell he's got a good handshake too, and so he's ready to go.
You know what? I mean, he's got a big frame. He's just lanky right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he doesn't look like 12.
That's just another, point of that MLB's initiative to play ball. You just continue playing with, your size like this. These kids are just going to grow and mature and start getting introduced to weightlifting and endurance training, and that's just going to help them not only in baseball, but if they play other sports as well.
Whatever sport, you're right. And the competition and the teamwork, it transfers.
Well, they had a hit, a walk, and an error. They tightened it up 2-1.
1 unearned run.
So we're going to the top of the 3rd.
Great game.
And folks, we want to talk to you about some free recreation programs that are now taking place at the Cleveland Division of Recreation. And again, it's probably one of the best kept secrets. School is right around the corner. We'll be getting ready for school. But just remember, there are free meals at all Cleveland Recreation Centers right after school. All you have to do is be a student in school. You can go to your local recreation centers, usually between the hours of 3:30 and 5. They're totally free. And again, it's a great opportunity to send your kids to the rec center. They have a little nutrition. They can do their homework, and they can get involved in recreational activities. If you're interested for more details about the free meal program, please pick up the phone right now and call 664-2307. That's 664-2307. And the young lady there got a little frown on her. What could she be crying about now? It's a great game, Mike.
She's ready to go home.
She might be
She's
hungry.
seen enough. Well, that could be
I'm
it.
hungry. I couldn't get what I wanted from my mom. Come on, Mom.
Well, she says, you sit right next to me. You're not going to go run off in the park. Whoa.
In it. Okay. And I'll tell you what, if you just joined us, this young man we're looking at, Anthony Minute Jr., the left-hander, hey, he can mow him down. We're going to show you right here. This is what he's done so far just today in today's ball game. You can see it right here. There's number 1. Here's number 2. There's 3 on a low outside pitch. He got one there. That's 5 strikeouts. And we're only going into the third. But the Zelma George Black Sox lead 2-1 here.
Got Josh Knuckles at the plate, number 7, the left fielder. He's batting a cool .625. They've got some hitters in both these lineups, you know. I'm wondering when they're going to start crushing the ball.
Let me tell you this, I learned from the Cleveland Indians watching them for years, Mike. Good pitching.
Yes, yes, and
Good
defense. Ouch, that hit off the guy's face mask. Ow. He's a tough kid. Yeah, take a minute.
Well, let's see the replay.
Oh my God, watch this.
Ouch.
Yeah, Tim and Mike, I've definitely been on the receiving end of plenty of those too.
Now,
As a former catcher.
Did you notice, because I'm looking at it, it looks like he's in the weight room already.
Yeah.
His head did not flip back at all.
Yeah.
Listen, he's a tough kid. I
Oh
know
my
the father.
gosh.
He's definitely a tough kid.
Yeah, you know, I mean, definitely toughness too, but you know, for the development side, something I want to point out there too, both for the umpire and the catcher. You notice the first thing the umpire did was, you know, call time and stood in front of him, gave him his time gave the catcher time to regroup and get situated. That's the same thing on the reverse side too, right? You guys are a duo back there, the catcher and the umpire. The umpire gets nicked anywhere, walk out at catchers to your
give him a
pitcher,
break.
give the umpire some space, some time to reset, get settled, and you never know, you might get a couple of those borderline calls later in the game too.
That's good sportsmanship. Oh, you better be moving, my friend.
Oh, ooh.
Nice play.
Wow.
That was sweet.
Nice play on the defensive side.
After he got dinged, he came right back. All right, we've got, is this Tavana? No.
Wait a minute, they bring
There's another
back
7.
in.
Oh, no, I think they're
Oh,
saying...
foul ball? Foul ball? Yeah, hit behind the plate.
I think he's going to talk to the other guy. and
Yeah,
check
watch,
with him.
it hit behind, well, it hit behind the plate.
I mean, again, on the catcher side, play it out, right?
Yes,
On
that
both
was a good
sides,
play.
too. The base runner, run it out.
Yep.
Catcher, run it out, or play it out.
Tim, they want an instant replay.
Oh, I'm sure.
Want you to call it in from New York, right?
Yeah. We're calling them, but they ain't answering the phone right now.
No.
So they're saying foul ball.
Yeah, that was a good call. Show that
I don't know.
again.
You at home, you tell us. Did they get it right?
Yeah,
Let's
I
look
think
at it
so.
one more
Watch where it
time.
hits. You can't see at that angle.
Oh, that was the other one.
Yeah, and
Earlier.
if we can't pick it up in
too light.
slow-mo, you sure in the heck you ain't going to pick it up out there live.
Nope.
So there we go. Yeah, we always hear that phrase.
Yeah, right.
So now,
This is Tavana Clemens.
429 on the year. Again,
Holy name, 7th grade.
yeah. You know, Mike, I haven't seen anybody here from St. Joe. I mean,
VASJ. Well, you're right. Well, you're Dennis Wood, the new coach over there. I thought he was going to be getting some of our kids.
this guy's favorite sports, basketball, volleyball, still lives in Lindor.
Oh my gosh.
You know, sometimes when they're throwing this fast, Mike, you know, I just go back when the coach asked what happened. I said, I just didn't see it.
We got Greg Clements, number 15. And I think that's Devana's brother.
Now, you're looking at this young man, right, Mike?
Yeah.
And his career ambition is to play in the NFL.
A cornerback, or he's going to return punts, maybe?
Safety. Might be a kicker.
Not safety. Not.
Hey, no, I say dream big, man. The J.J. Watt motto. I just was listening to his commencement speech this year at Wisconsin University, and that's what he started off with. You got to dream big, so.
So there we are, 2-1 here in the middle of the third inning. We'll be right back with more of the Youth Boys Baseball Championship.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
Welcome back to Brookside Park, Taldy Field. You've been watching the Youth Boys Baseball Championship. These are ages 9 through 12. Again, they started this spring and they played all summer long. And again, two teams here. Again, the Zelma George team faced them earlier in the year, and Zelma George lost that game. But that was way back early in the year. Right now, it's a heck of a ball game. So we're in the bottom of the third, and leading off for the Estabrook Sox
is Connor Wolliver. Is that how you say his name? I
I'm
hope.
glad you said it, Mike. I was trying to think, what is that? Wolliver? I'm terrible on butchering names, you know. I know that.
You butchered my name for long enough.
I do. You know, and a nice story, Anthony, and I know we were both there when we were at Luke Houston. We had the great the dedication to the new field. And the mayor was sitting next to Martell's Chapman, or Pinckney. He was the one speaking. And I saw the mayor when he came here. The next one, we were talking in the dugout, and I said, Mayor, what was the conversation? He said, listen, I told Martez he can get to Bayerga easy now. Just Google him, and Carlos will probably respond back to him.
Most likely, yeah, for sure. I mean, Carlos Bayerga during All-Star Week, he was doing everything that was asked of him and more. Like, unexpectedly, he came out to, obviously we invited him to the, this field dedication, the one at Luke Easter as well, and some involvement at Play Ball Park. But we saw him there one day, and we just asked him, or we notified him that, there's a team from Puerto Rico here competing in the Commissioner's Cup youth tournament. And they're having their opening ceremonies 4th of July at League Park. Next thing you know, we head over there. Who shows up? Carlos Bayerga, just on his own, and man, he was a huge advocate for sure for us, ambassador for us during that time, and same kind of guy he was on the field, happy-go-lucky. You see a lot of similarities definitely with Francisco Lindor and Carlos, and I'm
high ball. Drops in.
He almost made that play. That was a nice try, man.
So now Marcus Gonzalez, number 17, he's the right field. You look at the swing here, and you can see right here.
Oh my gosh!
Just out of the reach.
Explain that rover spot for me.
They have 4 outfielders at this youth level, so they can play them where they want. Sometimes you have your traditional 4 like you would see, and sometimes they put them in the middle. The coaches will be creative in different ways, and I kind of love watching what they do sometimes with that outfield. Sometimes they'll come in with 5 infielders. Especially, could you imagine if we only had 3 with this outfield?
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Yeah.
my Lord, almost every ball would be like we'd be chasing.
Yeah.
High scoring affairs, that's for sure.
Here, I'll put it on our 2020 agenda, Tim and Mike, to look into portable fence out here. Softball games and also for youth championship games.
Tim would remember this in Municipal Stadium. Remember, Luke Easter hit a ball into the bleachers, but the outfield was so deep that they actually did that, and they would move the fences back and forth depending on the type of hitters we had. I remember that in the 60s and 70s.
I thought it was mainly if who's in town. If the Yankees are in town, you move it further back. If they're not in town and you're playing like the Tigers or someone.
Or you water down the bases if you're playing the Oakland A's.
Oh, we wouldn't do that.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a base hit.
Pop up.
No, he caught it. Nice
By
play.
the second baseman. Down. Yeah, and you know, Luke Easter, some people don't know this, but he had the longest home run at Cleveland Municipal Stadium.
Yep.
That's right, yep.
Oh my Lord. And have you ever met the guy? He was the nicest guy you'd ever meet in the world.
Really, really, very soft-spoken. Just a nice guy. So we've got Xander Rion.
Yep.
This is number 8, Xander Rowland.
Roland? Is it Roland?
So going back to Luke Easter, it was a nice little connection. As you guys might know, with the Boys and Girls Club, Ryan Easter is the digital arts. He's involved with the digital arts studios with the Boys and Girls Club. He's actually the grandson of Luke Easter. So we had him out at the Luke Easter field dedication. Really neat. And just as you're saying, you know, obviously I'm too young to ever meet Luke Easter, but had a chance to meet another.
Two more pitches, baby. We should have housed. Oh, my back is oh, my back Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
Young ladies ages 16 to 18 years old played on Tuesday and Thursday evenings involving 4 teams. Some 55 participants. Some of the girls you'll see play tonight not only have the excellent skills or a bright future in the sport, some will continue to play as much as they can to get ready for their next school season. Many of them had supportive coaches, friends, and family along the way. Uniforms, equipment, and transportation were all provided to ensure them the great opportunity to have some fun and learn the game of fast pitch in softball. Welcome to Brookside Park, Talty Field for the 2019 Cleveland Senior Girls Fast Pitch All-Star Game. Again, my partner is in the house again for another year of joy, Olivia Wolfhope. And we will also be having the Alicia Ortiz joining us throughout the day, who was with the Senior Girls Fast Pitch team during the trip to the RBI Regionals. First of all, Olivia, you know a lot of the girls. What can we expect to see here today?
I think the biggest thing that we can expect today is to see a lot of contact hitters, a lot of accurate pitching, and a really sharp defense out of all the girls.
And I know they're split up, so we're not going to favor one team or the other. Just play well and do a great job.
Correct, yeah. But looks like it's going to be a good game.
Well, without further ado, we're going to go to Edwin Santiago for the player introductions.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Talty Field at Brookside Reservation, the new Jim Thome All-Star Complex for our 2019 Senior Girls All-Star Game. Introducing our All-Star players, representing Gunning, number 20, Celine Ortiz. We're number 18, also representing Gunning, Nadia Mendez. Representing Estabrook, number 10 is Hope Hartman. Number 16 represents JFK, Rakia Simpson. Representing Estabrook, number 4, Mary Lex Soto. Number 3 represents Estabrook, Arianis Santos. Number 5 also represents Estabrook, Aaliyah Rodriguez. Number 12 comes from Estabrook, Juliana Rodriguez. Number 15, also Estabrook, Isabel Baca. Representing Sterling, number 5, Shauna Witt. From Earl B. Turner, number 11, Kayla Evans. Wearing number 17 from Estabrook, Isabella Kirshner. Wearing number 19 from Estabrook, Emily Kazuli. Wearing number 5, representing JFK, Victoria Wright. Coaching the National All-Stars, Mr. Obed Rodriguez, and assisted by Miss Nina Gillespie from JFK. Introducing our American stars, number 10 represents JFK, Diamond Benton. From Earl B. Turner, number 7, Dewana Wagner. Number 11 is from Estabrook, Hollis King. Number 12 from John Marshall, representing Estabrook, Hannah Thompson. Number 8 is from Estabrook, Michelle Gull. Number 17 from Parma High, Anastasia Melendez. Wearing number 4 from Lutheran West, Kristen Zach. Number 14 is from Estabrook Recreation, Madison Zavajos. Wearing number 1 from Gunning Rec, Kayla Lorenzo. Number 16 is from Estabrook, Beyonce O'Neill. Wearing number 13, representing JFK, Talia Steele. American All-Stars are coached by Mr. Robert Gull, assisted by Miss Nydia Rodriguez, Bart Ranke, and Mr. Jorge Zavajos. These are our 2019 All-Stars. Ladies, let's play ball.
So there you have it. As you can see, the young ladies are about ready to get started. And Olivia, first of all, we're going to take a look at, first of all, the rules that they'll be dealing with. Let's talk about some of the modifications.
Yep, so the senior girls fast pitch game rules for the game today is that we will play a 6-inning game. All batters are in the lineup are going to play. Base distance is 60 feet. The pitching distance is 43 feet. There's a mandatory play rule, so everybody must bat, everybody must play the field, and starters may re-enter the game. There's a run spread rule, which is 8 runs after 5 innings. A slaughter rule, which is 5 runs in the first 3 innings. And the speed up rules are no intentional walk, courtesy runner for the catcher, and no throwing the ball around the horn.
And when you look at the 2 umpires, again, certified through the Ohio High School Athletic Association and part of the Greater Cleveland Umpire Association. 2 outstanding officials will call the game today. Again, our home plate umpire is Tina Knight. She's a 6-year umpire. Again, on the right, graduate of Monroe County High School in Alabama, a graduate. Also, Sue Schnurr. She's over at first base, 27 years, 1975 graduate of Finneytown High School in Cincinnati, and she currently is retired from the RTA. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the starting lineup for the National All-Stars. And leading off with the National All-Star is Rikia Simpson. Then you're going to have batting second, Celine Ortiz. Third is Nadia Mendez. Fourth is Hope Hartman. Batting fifth is Victoria Wright. Batting sixth is Ariana Santos. Batting seventh, Alaya Rodriguez. Batting eighth, Juliana Rodriguez. Batting ninth, Shauna Witt. Batting 10th, Isabel Baca. Batting 11th will be Kayla Evans. And again, everybody's going to bat and play. And then also, when you look at the defense for the American All-Stars, tell us about that as well.
Yep, so out on the circle, you have a strong arm with Michelle Gall. Behind the plate, you have catcher Talia Steele. At first base, we have Beyonce O'Neill. Second base, Madison Zavamos. Third base, Kayla Lorenzo. Shortstop, Anastasia Melendez. Left field, Kristen Zach. Center field, Diamond Benton. And in right field, Dewana Wagner.
And obviously, when you're talking about fast pitch softball, we've been there 1,000 times. And you're talking about pitching and catching, throwing strikes. And folks, as we go through today, we will be giving you a lot of great information, passing on about some recreation programs and things that are happening and exciting in the city of Cleveland. Again, you couldn't ask for a better weather day as far as the temperatures. Sunny skies, and again, a newly renovated Brookside Talty Field. Again, it's now part of the Jim Thome complex, and we'll talk about that as we go through the next few weeks. So leading off is number 16 from the National Division, Rikia Simpson. She hits one off the edges, and she'll beat it out for a base hit. So batting second is Selena Ortiz. She's an RBI player, and we'll talk about that RBI player and what it means. She's from Gunning, a 12th grader over at St. Joe Academy. Again, Celine Ortiz. You're familiar with some of these players, Coach.
Yeah, no, Celine's definitely one of the ones on our team. She starts for us in second base, and she's been a fantastic leadoff hitter. She's been able to get us going and get us through those games when we played in Indianapolis this past weekend. Sorry.
So again, Celine Ortiz, she's told us that she is interested in criminal justice. She wants to get involved in criminal justice as a career, and of course, you know, she has her favorite things to do, like singing, and of course, it seems like every athlete in Cleveland loves Francisco Lindor.
That is so true.
Ground ball through, base hit. Again, the pitching distance is, as we mentioned at the beginning, 43 feet, 60-foot bases. We'll take a look at the replay right here.
Yeah, so if you see right there, Celine made a nice good cut, just kind of get that ball in that 5-6 hole to get her on base and move that runner ahead.
So nobody out here. And again, the sport of girls fast pitch becoming more and more popular. Takes one up high. 2-0 count. Nobody out. First inning just underway. These are young girls that participated in girls fast pitch Cleveland Recreation Program, and a nice catch by the center fielder, almost doubled her off. Now they're going to throw over to third, and she's in there. So, Coach, let me start asking. Is that one of the first things we see, Alicia, all the time, that the kids get the ball and they want to make a great play and start throwing it around?
Absolutely. The first thing they want to do is try to get the advanced runner out.
So now batting third is number 10, Hope Hartman. Or batting fourth, I'm sorry, correct myself. Had to fly out. So 2 on, 1 out. Swings at a high pitch. So Olivia, give me the scoop here. You know the young lady that's pitching. When you're talking, for us, it looks like, man, you're right on top of him, and it's that speed. What kind of speed do you think she's throwing right around?
I would say she's probably throwing like mid-40s, which is definitely a good speed because she definitely is more of a movement pitcher. I tell all the kids that I work with, you know, you don't need to be throwing 60 miles an hour. We just need you to place the ball in the corners and have a little bit of a change of speed and keep some spin through the ball.
A swing and a miss. Second out, and they're going to throw, and she's in there. So the first one of the ball game is Rakia Simpson. They do get the strikeout for the second out. So now it's going to be number 5, Aaliyah Rodriguez. If I have that correct. No, Victoria Wright. She's from Warrensville. Plays at John F. Kennedy. RBI player as well. It's a big girl you guys got there. Where did you, a little power, huh?
No, that's
you holding out on us or what?
No, that's something we love the most about her is like she's such a good kid. She's trying to get better every single day, and she really does have a lot of power into her swing.
Girl works hard absolutely every single practice, never gives up on herself, and that's what we really love to see.
And Alicia, you know, both of you have got a history with RBI where you played in the program and now are giving back.
Yes.
Do you think the kids today have a little bit more different challenges than when you guys played?
I think so. The game today is way more advanced. I feel like when I played, I mean, it was competitive, but it wasn't as competitive as it is today. A lot of the girls, you know, go out and they play tournament ball and they don't get the opportunity to play inner city for free, especially with RBI. So when they get these opportunities, they don't really see that full potential from, you know, coaches and other players, and they don't ever, you know, get told that they are great. So when they come to CBF, you know, they get these opportunities that benefit them and they make them grow and become great women in the future.
You know, and the other thing that, and again, Olivia, you probably can tell us this too as well. I mean, it seems like the girls today have so much more put on them. Like some of them have to work to help pay the bills at home or to get their schooling or buy whatever they want. Then they're dealing with, you know, trying to get to where they got to go and get to practices. It's kind of rough on them right now. Oh, pop up in the infield, and it was dropped by number 17. And I look at it here, and those are the kind of outs you got to catch.
Yeah, that's one of those routine plays that need to be made so we can get out of this inning.
Foul that off. And playing shortstop was oh boy, help me out here, Alicia. Anastasia Melendez.
Yes.
Yeah. Good Irish name. Swing and a miss. So 2-0. We're in the first. And again, you're talking about senior girls fast pitch, 16 to 18 years of age. And we're going to talk right after we get into this next thing a little bit about the RBI tournament team and how all that works. So they strike her out looking on the final out of the inning, but they do come up with 2 runs. And again, you're talking about senior girls fast pitch. Again, these young ladies are part of the City of Cleveland RBI CBF program. Played right here at Brookside Park. And we're talking about the kids in general as far as, and you probably see it more when you're having practices about trying to get them there. You probably hear all the things that go on. Can you share some of that with you?
I feel like I've heard all the excuses this summer. I've heard babysitting, I've heard work, I've heard, no car rides, because a lot of these kids, they drive. So it's been tough. It's been a tough summer trying to get girls all together. But I mean, these girls have dealt with so many things. I mean, I've heard excuses all over. Just trying to get them here, whether I'm picking them up, our city vans are picking them up. No matter what we can do, it's just trying to get them here, get them to the field, get to practice and get to work.
So obviously, let's start from the very beginning. Kids play in the league here on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Right.
Now that qualifies them because it's part of an RBI league. Now we have tryouts.
Yes. This year we had 32 girls come to tryouts. I was ecstatic. Last year we had about 20, so we had an additional 12 girls come out to tryouts, and it was a great turnout. Lots of talent all over the place, from pitching and catching to outfield, infield. I mean, this year was a difficult choice. I had a reserve that held on basically to almost the last 2 weeks being here, just because we couldn't really give her up, and we still wanted to take her through the opportunities of RBI and take her to additional tournaments and have her play.
Yeah. So on the American League, their starting lineup, leading off and playing right field, is Dewana Wagner. Batting second is Hollis King, the outfielder from Estabrook. Batting third, it is Kristen Zach, who's playing left field. Batting fourth, Kayla Lorenzo over at third base. Batting fifth is Diamond Benton from John F. Kennedy. Batting sixth is from Estabrook, Beyonce O'Neill from Rhodes. Batting seventh is the catcher, Talia Steele from John F. Kennedy. Batting eighth from Estabrook is Anastasia Melendez. I'll butcher that all night. Batting ninth is from Estabrook, Michelle Gold, the pitcher. Batting 10th is Madison Zavadas. Batting 11th is Hannah Thompson. And I think we got them all. So we're going to lead off, and we'll get you the defense in just a minute on the defensive side of the ball. And if you want to go ahead and zip through those, Olivia.
Okay, so in the circle, you have Rakia Simpson. Behind the plate, you have Emily Lazuli. At first base, you have Aaliyah Rodriguez. Second base, Ariana Santos. Third base, Isabella Kirchner. Shortstop, you have Hope Hartman. Center field, you have Isabella Baca. Left field, Juliana Rodriguez. And in right field, you have Mary Lex Soto.
So again, you're talking about young ladies from all over the city. And as we're looking at our leadoff batter, again, Dewana Wagner, she is a student over at Lincoln West, plays for Earl B. Turner. Coach, is the comments correct as far as, oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, Dewana Wagner. Is those comments correct, what I'm hearing?
As far as the first part, I know she is. I mean, Dewana played for us in RBI last year, I believe it was. She definitely was a hard worker. She was actually one of the ones when 2 years ago when I implemented youth development camps for the kids. We did a 2-week session. She came to all of those camps, did not make the RBI team her first year. And then her second year, she came and tried out, and she made the team last year, and she was a huge asset on the bench for us. I mean, she was such a great team player, and she came and worked hard every single day of practice.
And they have it listed that she's looking to go to Hiram College. So she gets on an air right off the rip. Now listen, fielding balls on turf versus the dirt.
So much more bouncy, oh my goodness. We actually had in the regional, Kayla Lorenzo, that is actually on the American League. She took a hard bounce to the face. Our shortstop, threw it to the ground. She went to go scoop, and the glove just wasn't there, and she just made contact straight in the mouth.
Oh,
gushing
wow.
blood. We had to call time. It was a hard play, hard ball.
Not good at all.
No.
And here's the other thing, Dewana Wagner, sports medicine. they got some interesting careers, these young ladies.
Yeah, I do think, I know a lot of them want to either get into like healthcare or sports medicine or sports management or something like that. I mean, I personally am a sports management major, and for me, you know, like the sports, you know, the impact that sports had on my life, I think a lot of people feel the same way, and they just want to get into that for a career and share their same passion with other kids.
And Alicia, we're going back to the tournament team. I mean, that's got to be the toughest thing. When you're trying to narrow it down, you can't take them all. You only got to do 15.
I wish, honestly, I could take them all, and it's super tough, and I hate breaking hearts, but the one thing that we actually did this year as well is, you know, keep an open practice, have these girls come out at any time and just, you know, stay in the program, stay alive, you know, keep working on practicing the game of softball, because in the city of Cleveland, it's hard to get these girls to actually come out here. So having these open practices and, you know, getting these girls to come out, accepting, you know, younger girls into the program and just making them, you know, find their way and just keep growing.
So we saw her reached on an air, a big swing and miss. Now batting is the third hitter, number 4, Christine Zach. She's from the Estabrook Gold Team, Lutheran West, 10th grader. And again, once the team's selected, then the other part comes in to getting them ready to go to a regional, and they don't give you a lot of time, do they?
No, it's just about a month and maybe 2 to 3 weeks. A month and 2 to 3 weeks, yeah, just to get these girls ready. So that we have the rec games Tuesdays and Thursdays, which everybody, you know, they're always here, which is great. You know, they're always present. And then we had practices Mondays and Wednesdays. Usually every single week. It was tough this year, especially with the rain in the month of June. But, you know, these girls, you know, they held on, you know, they made it work. You know, I was trying to do anything to be there with them and them to be there with me. And we just, you know, we made it work and rocked out in the regional.
And then the other great news, folks, for you at home, these young ladies, I have to tell you, they did it. They ended up qualifying, winning in the regional. And they are going to be going to the RBI World Series. There's a nice play.
Great play.
They score, but they get the ground out. So that's 1 down. And we are tied. We'll look at it right here, Olivia.
Yeah, that's such a fantastic hit by Kristen, but that shortstop did such a good job of moving across the field and making that throw on the run to get that out.
So now batting, if I have it right, number 1. This is Kayla Lorenzo.
Yep.
RBI player. Solid effort from every position. There's your sports management degree again.
Yeah, there she is. No, I would definitely say that about Kayla.
She's going to drive this to right, and this could go a long way. That's one thing about this field. If it gets by you, you're going to be running forever. And she will come all the way around to score for a home run. So let me ask this, Alicia, when you played, did your team qualify and go to the World Series?
Yeah, actually, I was a part of that that 9-peat. I actually won the World Series in 2015. I was one of those 15. I was Amateur Athletes of the Year. I got to go out to that event, give a speech, have the Indians surprise us on stage. So surreal. I still live in the moment every single day. I still have that ring, and I brought it with me to regionals just to give these girls inspiration and tell them, you know, they can and they will.
Yeah, and where did you guys play at your World Series?
I played my World Series. My first year was in Minneapolis. My second year was in Texas. Third year was in Texas, and then my last year was in Cincinnati.
So I gotta believe Texas was the hot spot.
104-degree weather.
Oh.
104-degree weather, dry heat. Man, when those water coolers ran out, they instantly stopped the game. No ice, no play.
Wow. And Olivia, if I remember, you got to correct me if I'm wrong. When you played, I thought they played for here in Cleveland or something where it went extra innings at Cleveland State?
That was the year after me.
After you?
That was my year.
That was the 14-inning game.
14 innings you guys played.
game,
And wasn't the temperature like in the 90s?
It was like 98 degrees that day.
It was super hot.
So where did your team made it to the World Series?
Yeah, my team made it to the World Series. That was in 2012, and we went to the World Series. That was in Minnesota.
And what was it like?
It was an awesome experience. I mean, you just can't beat the experience that, the Cleveland Baseball Federation and the RBI program put together for these kids. I mean, for me personally, they did like this little roundtable event, and that's where I got inspired to continue my career in sports and to do stuff like this and impact the lives of kids. So for me, it definitely took like an emotional toll on my life and obviously changed the course of my life.
Now, I've heard that even at the World Series level, you play all these teams from all over the world. It's not just the United States. And you kind of form a bond and friendships where maybe even still today. Is that true?
It is true.
Yeah, 100% true. I would say that for both of us. I mean, I know on my half it was awesome because I got to play against girls. One of them was from Hawaii specifically. She played in college at school in New York, and I played at Cleveland State. So like we would see each other about once a year at tournaments, and it was just so cool to kind of stay in contact with some of these people. Even if it's just through social media, it's just nice to have other friends in other areas of the country. I know Alicia can say the same.
Yeah,
for her too.
absolutely. I had a best friend, Skylar Thomas, in Hawaii, and right now she's playing at the University of Hilo. And just, I mean, great girl overall. We hit it off, our first year, both being so young, being 15 years old in the World Series. I mean, we just connected and just became best friends still to this day.
Obviously, I know you're seeing some of these batters that were your former, or they are your RBI players right now. I'm waiting for you to get up and go, wait a minute, you're not doing this right.
Yeah, I thought of that a couple times. Hey, let's stay level here. Wait for that ball to get into that zone. Stop reaching out there. That was a little problem this year. We just can't wait for that ball to get into that strike zone.
Right on the money.
Talia.
Nice swing by number 13. And again, that was, help me out here, 13. I think we got a, I'll get you the name of that person that just batted.
Talia Steele.
Steele.
Yes, number 13 played.
So
she's on the RBI team as well. Great player.
She's the catcher, and she's from Maple Heights. She plays over at JFK on the RBI team. That was a good swing by her. Is she a pretty good hitter?
Yes.
She is. I remember my experience the first time with the girls. I'll never forget this. We're in Detroit.
Yeah, I was with you. Yeah, you came to Detroit with us.
And I'm sitting there, and this parent comes up to me, and she goes, Mr. Wells, you're not going to believe this. I said, what are you telling me? She said, well, we stopped at this hotel, to get a room, and we had our Cleveland RBI shirts on, and when they were getting the room, they were going to get it, and there was some people there from Detroit, I guess, RBI, So that ends the inning here. But to finish the story, the parents, they were getting the rooms, and the guy said, okay, blah, whatever, the hotel employee, and they went up to him and said, look, if they're going to be in this hotel, we're not staying here. We're Detroit, and there's no way we're going to be in the same hotel with Cleveland. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is like girls fast pitch.
There's some big rivalry
amateur.
out there, man.
Oh my God, is the rivalries that bad?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, definitely tough. Like every time we go to the regional, I mean, it's about us and a couple of the other teams. I would say mainly, at least in our regional, obviously like us, Cincinnati and Detroit, but there is always definitely those big rivalries of like who is going to come out on top at the end of the regional.
But the good news was when we're sitting there watching the game, I don't know if you remember, Liv, and we won, I was so happy.
So happy.
I was watching John Carter, from CBF. He's walking back and forth like, his wife was ready to have a baby in a second.
That man
he
never
was so
can stay
excited
still.
and stressed. It's like, oh my Lord. But yeah, it's been the RBI's they have this theory about it's more than the game. Can you explain that?
It's been more than a game just for me. I've had a cousin that went through RBI before, the 4 years that I played, and I mean, this whole program changed my whole family's life. I mean, my cousins, my household, just my friends and all. It changed me as a person. It's just, you just learn to love the game even more because everyone has so much more respect and just has more passion. So I'm so grateful for RBI, and that's why I stick around today. I love giving back. I love being that alumni that, never stops giving.
So leading off now is Aaliyah Rodriguez, 10th grader from Rhodes, played over at Estabrook, cosmetology, and of course Francisco Lindor. Base hit right up the middle, good swing. You're never going to see that high pitch over there, will they? You're lucky. So the first out, or actually the first base hit here in this inning. Now it's going to be Juliana Rodriguez from Rhodes. Do you know if they're related at all in any way?
I do not, actually.
Look pretty strong. Takes one up high. Now, the other thing that we have to talk about is we talk about it being more than the game, but this year I was told that the senior girls and the senior boys went into a community project over at St. Rocco's. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so basically when the All-Star game came into town, they reached out to CBF and asked if any of our alumni or current players would be interested. And so I know that they went out there and they did some landscaping. I know they did some demo work in some houses, and same thing. Like it's just all for the program. Like it's more than a game. Like we're a team, we're a family, and we're also members in the community. And overall, that's what we want to do for the city of Cleveland.
Did they collide on that play?
They did. It looks like no one called each other off. Super danger in this game nowadays. Gotta call each other off. Need communication on that field.
Let's take a look at it here. She seemed a little hesitant on going after it.
Yeah, typically that's what happens when someone's not calling the ball. They just get a little hesitant because they think everybody's right there.
So now batting is number 5, Joanna Witt. She's from Sterling and she plays over at Bard High School, a 10th grader. Line one down the line, foul. Do you guys find out that when you're teaching the kids, they always love the hitting practice versus the defense?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I feel like a lot of kids just find it more fun, or everyone loves getting a good, nice big hit. Everyone can kind of casually take routine grounders all day, but they always have a huge interest in hitting because they always want to be that player to make that hit that helps us score those runs.
Absolutely.
And in the fast pitch game itself, it's more than just, swinging a bat and getting hits. You're dealing with slash hitting. You're dealing with bunting. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, so basically overall in the game, I mean, that's where, like Alicia said, how the game's more advanced. I mean, as time's gone on, people have gotten a little bit more strategic in the game of softball. I think it used to just be contact hitters, move runners, and now, people are getting smarter and they're developing slap hitters that are faster and can get you on base. A lot of other people are implementing bunting, and then like I said, the coaches are just getting a little bit more strategic in placing all those things down to score runners. I mean, I think the thing that we see the most frequently now is people sneaking in bunts to just send a runner home at the same time.
Absolutely. It's that small ball play, Oh, nice hustle.
Whoa. I'll tell you what, they've been watching too much of Shane Bieber going after them fly balls.
Honestly.
So now batting, this should be Isabella Baca. Correction, this is number 11. And that is, help me out here, guys. Oh, Kayla Evans, Campus International. So that ends the inning. So after 2 full innings of play, you have a 3-2 score. And again, she came in and made the tag. So I guess I know you're going to Florida. I know you have But, you know, I went back and you got to help me out here. I don't remember us getting even a month sometimes. We always seem to be always the first regional going in early July, but this year we lucked out and had the end of July.
Yeah, I think in the past it's normally been a couple weeks before.
Usually
we're
July
usually,
11th weekend.
Yeah, normally we're about middle of July. There's pros and cons to both. I mean, you think about it, the pros of not going to the regional to the end of the month. It's especially this year, like Alicia said, with the rain, that really kind of put us back a little bit at the beginning of the season. So you have more time to prepare for the regional. You know, our game plan moving forward over this weekend next is to just kind of get a couple team practices in, fine-tune some of our, you know, our defense and offense, and just get the kids some extra skill work before we get down there.
And obviously, you talk about spectators. They bring everybody to the. We got the dogs here. Last week when we were here, we had the bongos going, and they really come out and enjoy this game.
They do.
I would say too. We talked about this over the weekend. At the regional. I would say Cleveland did have the biggest fan base there, and definitely the loudest fan base there. I mean, we traveled really well for being in Indianapolis, and we had the best fans out there for baseball and softball. Like top to bottom, it was just a fantastic crowd that came out to support.
Well, they told me that all the teams, they supported each other. It was kind of a nice schedule where if the boys weren't playing for one team, they were going over to the girls, and the girls were going to the boys, and everybody was, it was a whole family of. Now I know why we had a pretty good success. We made a lot of noise down there,
Absolutely. I would say that was definitely part of it too.
Cleveland is it's rowdy in a good way, you know, especially with, you know, the girls being the cheerleaders for the boys. You know, they love that. They love getting those girls out there doing those cheers because, you know, they're not going to do it in their dugout. So having those girls, you know, cheering, making loud noises, and getting rowdy, it's a good time. It's a fun time. You know, it gets the parents participating, gets the other teams a little shaken up a little bit. So it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's amazing.
Well, leading off right now is number 8, Michelle Gohl. She's from Lutheran West, RBI player.
Yeah, yes. So Michelle joined us this year. She's same thing. I think she came to some of the youth development camps over the past couple years, and just another one of those ones that has been working super hard over the past few years. She's one of those kids that you love to get on your team because then you can kind of work with her a little bit more to make her even better.
There it is, base hit up the middle. So now, Madison Zavanos from Holy Name. Do you feel like this year's team was so much younger than what you've had in the past, Alicia?
I do. I'm going to have a lot of returners next year, and that's amazing. I love having people start young, and then we just grow, and we keep growing until they're basically out. But yeah, I do have a couple young players, and it's just, you know, I get these 15-year-olds. Victoria last year, you know, she started, I think, when she was 15 or had just turned 15 at the beginning of the season. You know, and she's one of our bigger players to be the youngest. You know, they just really they really grow to be those people that they are in the future, and it just, I mean, it's crazy.
So now batting is Hannah Thompson. She's from John Marshall, a 10th grader. See the ball right back to the middle. That's a big target over at first base, Olivia.
Yeah.
You better get it to her.
Yeah, no, Victoria's one of the ones we love because she, you know, kind of like to touch on what Alicia said, she, you know, she's young, and that's one of the things we're striving to achieve in our program is to get these young players and truly develop them, like see a statistical difference in them between the first year they're with us and their last year.
Ground ball to first, they're going to throw over. Oh my. Ouch. Is that where we say, why did we throw the ball with 2 outs?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that, or, you know, something about this too is we've been working on her all year about kind of snapping that down a little bit more instead of lobbing it there. I've told her, like, you have such a great throw, you know, just really fire it off and get it to that next base.
So 4-2 lead for the American team. And now batting, we should be back to the top of the order with DeJuan Wagner, and she's Soft line out to the shortstop. So that'll end the inning. So I guess we'll look at this replay right here.
Yeah, that shortstop's been having a nice game. She really does a good job of moving her feet and getting to the position where that ball is. She's really defended that 5-6 hole well, and she did a good job of helping her pitcher by running up on that play.
So I know you're involved a little bit on coaching on the high school level. College level.
Yep.
And then obviously a lot of these young ladies are going to go back because they're so young to high schools. What advice do you give to the parents that have kids that are in girls fast pitch to get them over that hump, to prepare them not only for high school but college?
I would say the biggest thing is, to let them keep playing and let them keep playing at a level that they're ready to achieve at. I see it a lot of times that I deal with of, some of these parents I give private lessons with. They want to put their kids up in divisions and always striving for them to be better when they're not really doing great in the situation that they're in. So my biggest advice to parents is to kind of don't put too much pressure on the girls. Let them play the game. Let them have access, to do workouts in the winter. And in the fall, and just keep playing the game and just make it fun for them. A lot of kids quit when things aren't fun. So, biggest thing is to just have parents kind of take that step back and remember that it is the kids' game and that's what it's all about.
So Alicia, this year with such a young team, did you find yourself trying to build a lot of confidence all the time with the girls?
Absolutely. My motto is confident, not cocky. We've strived through that this whole season. I hate going onto a field being cocky, because that's just not what Cleveland RBI is about in general. But just being confident in yourself and having fun. That's the big goal. Having fun here and having fun with your teammates who is also your family. So building confidence with this team, especially a lot of them don't hear that, especially from their parents, other coaches just straight go into drills and don't really focus on that confidence barrier. But I feel like we've broken that a lot this year, especially with some of our young girls and new girls.
So we're looking at Marlex Soto from Rhodes. She's with the Estabrook team. She wants to be a pediatrician.
She's another one that likes Francisco Lindor.
Oh my Lord. I'll tell you what, with all the fan base he's got, he's going to be in great shape for a while.
Yeah.
So now batting is number 19. And that is Emily Kozel. I have it right. She's from John Hay, a 12th grader over at Estabrook. Fundamental player. Obviously, you have to see a lot of young kids that are just hesitant to get into girls fast pitch.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to the ones that are sitting here watching this first time? Maybe I need to get my daughter into this. What advice would you give them, Alicia?
Oh man, the one advice I would say: don't be afraid. I mean, obviously it's a hard contact sport with playing with a hard ball and a bat. But don't be afraid. This is definitely a growing game. Everyone learns at their own pace, and you just basically build from a young age up. I don't know. I would never say, or I would say, never give up on yourself. Just because, I mean, the game changes every single day, and so it's just great because it's not, the same plays every single time. So never give up on yourself, and keep growing, stay confident, because one day you can be that potential player that you can play college ball, you can play, professional. You just need that confidence booster,
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That little theory must have worked for you because you got him over the first hurdle.
Coming for that second one.
I would say a lot of things too. Like I talk to kids about this all the time. Like even if you've never gotten into a game of softball or even baseball, it's a game of failure. It's not every day. If you are batting 300, that's a good day, and that means you were, not as successful. Sometimes you failed more than you succeeded, and once you kind of get the grip of that's how this game goes, it really does help you stay successful. And honestly, for me, it helps prepare you for life too. Like sometimes you're going to be unsuccessful, and sometimes you are, and that's what this game does for you.
So we're looking at Isabella Kirchner. There's a catch. There you talk about going after it, no hesitation. If I remember that looks like Beyonce O'Neal.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, We saw him play the Senate championship game with Rhodes, and I told her after the game, I said, look at Beyonce, let me just share this with you. She might remember it, but she had so much speed. Am I correct?
So fast.
And I
so
said,
fast.
do not use the speed that you have on the bases driving a car, because you definitely will get some tickets. But she loves to play the game. You see, she's always smiling. She's out there hustling all the time.
You know, I actually, Beyonce played my last year when I was in the World Series. It's 2016. And, you know, from the player that she was to the player that she is today, phenomenal, you know, never gives up. She's a great player overall, and that's why I'm happy that, as a coach now, that I got to bring her back.
Now, here's some glove action right here, Olivia. They can put this right in the app. You see that right there?
Oh, yeah, that was such a good play. So that's another thing, too, that we work on.
Look at the stretch at first. That's my girl.
Fantastic stretch by
Way to go, Beyonce.
Such a good stretch by Beyonce, and such a good play by the third baseman to keep her head down and really move through that ball on those short hops. It really was a great play.
Well, folks, while we got a break here in the action, we do want to remind you that even though the fast pitch softball season comes to an end, remember this, it's time to sign up every spring. You can be at your high school or wherever, but get your contract in, register. They won't practice until the season is over, but please take that moment and come. And now that we're in the fall season, no better time to talk what's coming up next. And it's co-ed volleyball at the Cleveland Division of Recreation, ages 13 to 17. The uniforms are provided, the transportation, officials, and it is a great time to make a lot of friendships. And all you got to do is pick up the phone right now and call this phone number, 664-2014. Ask for Ashley Jackson. She is the league director, and she'll be able to put you to the closest center that has that program, and it'll make sure we get you on a team and have a great time. So again, when we're back here at Talty Field, you gotta have a special feeling looking at a field like this, young ladies.
Oh, you can't beat this field.
Cannot.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
No, it's beautiful. I love it. Actually, you can see it from the highway, and every time I'm driving, I always try to look over and look at it. I mean, just the way the setup with the windscreens that they have, and just having a turf field accessible, you know, that's just going to change, you know, even just how much field availability we're able to give our kids outside of summer.
You know, and the one thing is that we want you to be part of today's telecast. And we're going to put Alicia and Olivia on the spot, because when this game's over, we'll be selecting an outstanding player of the game. And let's see if you can match them at home. If you can match who they will select as the outstanding player today. And I know you guys have a special eye for talent.
We do.
When you see a game. Now, you know me, I've already picked mine.
yeah, we already know
But I
that.
have no say-so in it. So leading off is number 11 for the American League. And Alice King, she's from Estabrook Gold's team. She plays the outfield. Reached on an error first time up. We'll play 6. We're in the 3rd. You're watching TV20. We are Cleveland. And again, special thanks to the TV20 crew. They give us great shots all year. And we want to remind you that there is a shot that's going to hit the gap, and it will go a long way. They got it in the hole. She'll come around third, and they'll send her home. And there's another home run. A great hit by Hannah, let's see, Hollis King. That's her 2nd run scored. She's a hitter. So now batting is number 4. Christine Zach from Lutheran West. She likes Carlos Santana. Sports, exercise, and science is her thought down the road. You know, the other thing is, I think sometimes we just don't realize it, but a lot of the kids that you have, it might be the first time they get on an airplane.
I haven't even questioned that yet. You know, also when I played, there was a girl named Kelsey Bilak and her nickname was Fairview. And oh my Lord, the first time she was on a plane going to the World Series with us was to Texas, and her face went so pale and she was shaking the whole time. I was so nervous for her, but yeah, we're gonna have to have that discussion later this evening or at practice tomorrow.
And I'm sure there's going to be a few, many probably never been to Florida. So
Yeah,
this will be their first trip.
Yeah, I would say, and it's also cool too. So where they're taking us is actually Vero Beach, and it's Major League Baseball's youth development department bought out the old historic Dodger Town. So it'll be cool because this year we'll get to see the history side of it. But they did tell us that they're going to renovate it, and hopefully we'll see it again in the future back at the World Series.
She's hit another one deep. Oh, we got a catch. A great catch by the right fielder, number 18. 18, help me out.
Nadia
Mendez.
I'm glad you guys said it. I know I'd mess that up.
No, she's been another fantastic player that we've been able to coach this past summer.
So 5-2. We want to remind you next week we'll be right back here on TV20 right here at Talty Field, where it'll be the Senior Boys Championship game between the Michael's Own Raiders and the Estabrook Sox. So we got lots still coming, so stay tuned. Big hitter. She put the bat on the ball the last time. This is number 10. Diamond Benton. This be right?
Yeah, Diamond actually, we took her out to the knockout tournament that we played in the last weekend of, or no, it was July 9th, I would say. That weekend, we took her out to a tournament with us, and a phenomenal player. You know, she came out, and you know, when we needed her most, at like even in the box at bats, she was a heck of a player in right field. Never gave up and really helped us. Really helped us advance and make it to the semifinals in that tournament.
Well, I'll tell you what, she stands up to the plate really nice. So now we're looking at Beyonce O'Neill. I won't tell you who.
I was gonna say, is this your fan
Better
favorite?
believe it. Come on, Beyonce.
No, Beyonce's been so great. She is such a hard worker. And same thing, she was one who played RBI with us a while ago and then did not play over the past 2 years, but came back to tryouts this year. And she's just grown so much to even see her from what she was 2 years ago to today. I mean, I know what you're talking about, how she played in her school season, and she is one of the top players in the area. And she just really is. She's a hard worker, and she's a good kid.
That's our goal. We've got to reach out to more and more young ladies, get them out there to play. Because I'm a believer that, hey, if you give Cleveland kids the same opportunity as other kids, they're gonna shine. They're tough. They're hungry for it. They're never gonna give up on you. And if they try to, I know they're gonna be in the doghouse with you two.
Yeah, absolutely. We run a tight ship where we are.
Swing and a miss. Takes that up high, ball 4. That will load the bases. And now coming up is Talia Steele. I think we know this young lady,
Yes,
the
we do.
catcher.
Yes, we do.
She likes Jose Ramirez. She also wants to become a lawyer.
Should we start chanting now? Jose.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you this. She wants to become a lawyer. I don't want to see her in my career.
Yeah.
No, that's good. She can do that, just not in my life.
Yeah, no. Very, very, very
Pop
smart,
up.
dedicated.
Oh! How many outs do we have there?
I believe there's only one.
They must have thought it was deeper than what I thought it was. Like the infield fly rule would have been in effect, but I'm not coaching. I'm going to be nice. A lot of the parents have come out to watch their daughters play. Nice cool breeze. Boy, they're trying to be slick out here.
I was going to say, that's Beyonce on third, trying to use their speed to score home in a sneaky way.
So 7-2. It's a swing and a miss. When you guys played at the World Series, did they always have you guys playing early in the morning?
Yes. Yeah, for the most part, because they really keep us on a really pretty tight schedule. You usually play early in the morning, typically back-to-back, and then they fill the rest of your day with activities with the other teams.
The floodgate has opened. We'll look at it here one more time.
Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting by the hitter. And then, same thing just at first base. You got to work on being a little bit more of a wall to keep that ball at least in front if we're not going to make the play.
Base hit, run comes in to score. RBI. They're getting the feel for this bat and hitting right now. I can feel it. So the schedule, we got about 10 days before we leave, and I can imagine coach is already planning out all the practices.
Yeah. Tight schedule. Monday on our long drive home. We were going over practices and, talking to the girls that were in our vans. And I actually had one of my girls go, Coach just said we have practice Monday through Friday. I think she needs another nap.
I'm with them on that one. What?
Yeah. We have, especially with next week, it being, cutting down, we're taking advantage of team practices and then focusing, on day practices that we have, just infield come out and outfield come out the next day. And then once we're, at team practices, we'll just regroup and recollect together and go over, the little bits of info and put it in play.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. What you're doing and giving back is very, very special, and the young ladies are going to remember it. You'll probably hear it in another 15, 20 years. You'll be at a store or somebody be around and they'll say, oh, that was the coach that helped me when I was growing up. They taught me this, they taught me that. You can remember that in another 15, 20 years if it happens. Say, Tim did tell me that.
Right. No, yeah, I would say definitely for us in our experience. I definitely can say that, Darren, when he was in the coaching role, he definitely he played a huge role in why I went and played college ball. And then you, of course, always showing us the way and teaching us a ton of things too.
Well, there's the ground out to end the inning, but it's 9-2. So we will go to the fourth inning. And again, the run spread is 8. So if we get into the fourth and they get an 8-run lead, this game will be over. But there's your high shot from Brookside Park, folks. What a beautiful scene. This is TV20 from their high camera. And you're looking at the new Talty Field downtown. There's the downtown Cleveland in your upper left-hand corner. And again, There's our score, 9-2. A score of 9-2. Olivia Wolfup and Alicia Ortiz, two of the coaches for the Cleveland RBI that have rallied our troops and win the regional, and have now are planning on going to the RBI World Series in 10 days. So you can tell they are just excited as the kids are. I'm just thinking that I'd be a little bit more tired than them, you know.
I'm ready for the heat, honestly. Ready for a partial good farmer's tan.
Yeah, I need a good tan.
It's going to be a fun time. We already got the warning to bring a bunch of bug spray, though, so I'm not a little happy about that.
Oh, boy. Celine Ortiz leads off here. St. Joe Academy played over at Gunning. And, of course, if there's anybody on this team that did not pick Francisco Lindor, I don't see it. It seems like there's like a Santana one, and everybody else has been Lindor. But, you know, when you watch him play, he seems like he really enjoys playing the game.
I would say he's a great example for these kids of somebody who, A, is a good player, but B, is just good for the game. You know, he's always having fun. And I think that's something that the kids need to see.
I'll tell we had the grand dedication of the field on July 8th here. And Alicia, I had to stay in the dugout. I was in total shock. You know, they had Jim Thome here. They had the commissioner of baseball. The president or the owner of the Cleveland Indians was here. The executive director of Metro Parks was here. They had Sam McDowell, Charlie Nagy, all these famous Carlos Baerga. I'm like, I need to go hide somewhere and stay out of this.
Yeah. No, that whole entire week was definitely cool for the city, you know, with the All-Star game coming into town and all the people being around, and especially all the things that they did for the community while they were here.
Especially that red carpet, I thought that was pretty sweet. You know, get those guys in the trucks with their families and have them, you know, really acknowledge these Cleveland fans that really had a passion and really enjoyed the All-Star weekend.
And Coach, this Friday, very big day down in Progressive Field.
It is, it is.
You want to tell us about it?
We are actually getting acknowledged and recognized, the senior boys and girls, for making it to the World Series. We will be acknowledged at the field Friday, this Friday. I think first pitch is at 7:10, but you know, we get an opportunity to be recognized. Everyone, you know what RBI is about. See the great hustle and the great drive that you know, Cleveland Baseball Federation actually has. And then after, I think, you know, they get a $10 voucher to get some food, and they get to enjoy a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, some of those kids, I'm sure they've never been on Progressive Field on the field.
Well,
and to be recognized. And when they announce to the crowd that you're going to the World Series, they're going to think maybe this is the omen to get the Tribe going back to the World Series. What do you think?
See, you know, when the Indians made it to the World Series, that was the year that we won in 2015. So we thought that we started it. And we're like, all right, let's keep this drive going. The Indians are in the World Series now. And it was just great, you know. Even with, you know, Cleveland Baseball Federation, when they get the opportunity to meet these players, the inspiring words that they actually give them to never give up and just keep going, it's amazing to hear it from them from the professional side.
I'll tell you what, I go back and, you know, in my lifetime there's not been too many champions other than, you know, the Cavs and the Indians going to that World. But I'm telling you, I was a nervous wreck when they were playing in the World Series.
I was too.
Man,
I was like, I can't take this anymore.
That was crazy.
It's like I wanted to wait till we were done playing defense, then turn the TV back on.
Yes.
But they gave us quite a thrill, I'll tell you that. Oh, Lordy, but at least they're there to back it up. Now they're going to make the throw to third. Oh, my. Well, at least they backed up the play. You know, that won't go in the stat book, but at least you can see the team moving when the ball is being hit. It used to drive me batty when the player would sit out there and just watch when everything's being thrown around and not moving. It's like, what? Ground ball. Down, made the throw. Get another run, but they get the out. So 9-4?
9-4 it is?
Yep.
We've got 2 outs, and hopefully we see a rally here.
Straight up in the air. Oh boy.
Oh.
When I saw her running and the ball, and I knew that pop-up when he goes, it just curves out on you.
Yep.
I said, oh, we're in trouble. If that third baseman don't get there, we're in trouble. Did you ever notice that when those walls go up, you go, oh, boy, Lord.
Yep. Somebody please get that.
So I guess the first question we need to tell everybody, okay, you've gone to these, we've had the league, we've had the tryouts, we've had the tournament, we're now going to Florida. What's the cost?
Actually, absolutely nothing. That's what's so great about this program is it's all free. To play in the City League is free. To join RBI is free, and to go to the World Series is free. You know, for the regionals, the Cleveland Baseball Federation covers all the costs of that. But then after that, when you go to the World Series, it's all covered by Major League Baseball, and it's a completely free experience for all the kids.
And didn't I'm trying to remember this, but I know that we wrote one girl has to write an essay every year, and they get to go to the
actually,
World
so
Series,
there's
selected
yeah. Yeah, so there's actually 2 awards now. So they do the Breaking Barriers essay, which basically we did have a girl who won that in 2 years ago, I believe. But basically the Breaking Barriers essays where they just have to write about something they've overcome, whether it's on the field or off the field, and what softball has done to kind of help them through that. And then the second award they actually did during the All-Star Week when we took some girls to the Jenny Finch Classic, and it's called the Jenny Finch Empowerment Award, and Jenny Finch herself is at the games typically and checks out the games and tries to find a girl who just overall embeds everything that softball is about, you know, compassion, enthusiasm, a good player, and everything else like that.
So how would if somebody's here in Cleveland, you guys are in Florida, is there a way for them to keep an eye and know what's going on while you guys are down there? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, so there's two things I'd probably recommend. You can follow CBF Kids on Twitter. That's your first best option. Secondary to that, also they have an Instagram and a Facebook. It's for the Cleveland Baseball Federation. And lastly, if you wanted to follow along with online, they update the scores on www.cbfkids.org.
So can you say that one more time a little slower?
www.cbfkids.org, or just following CBF Kids on Twitter.
Okay, so folks at home, keep an eye right around August 10th, right when we're airing this thing, they'll be down in Vero Beach, Florida in the RBI World Series. And keep track on how the young ladies are doing by going to the cbfkids.org website. And they'll keep you up to speed on what's going on. So again, if moms and dads are at home or you're watching this for the first time, please make sure next year when your child is looking for something to do, let's get them involved. They'll provide gloves, they'll provide equipment, they'll get the transportation, they'll put it all together, and the young ladies that are teaching them will give them the best training they're going to receive. I promise you that when they leave them after that year, they're going to feel a whole lot better about their skills and their life lessons that they're going to be learning. So we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. They'll take one down low. We're looking at it right here. Foul ball. We're looking at number 7.
There's our Dewana Wagner.
I don't want to butcher the name. Make sure I got the right person here.
Yep, Dewana Wagner.
Dewana Wagner, right?
Yep. She loves the nickname D-Dog.
D-Dog?
Yeah, that's her nickname.
Wow.
It's the first thing she came up to me and told her to call her last year. It's like, D-Dog, are you sure? And she's like, absolutely, Coach. She said, all right. And they're on out.
Back to the pitcher. I see they changed the pitcher.
Yes, we did. It's number 5, Victoria Wright.
So, wow. Shauna Witt is pitching? No. Who's pitching out here now?
Victoria
Wright.
Oh, there it is. I keep forgetting. She is an RBI player. Wow. I remember when I knew my RBI days was over, you know, I was a bench coach for Leroy Suarez at the time. And we were in Minnesota, the World Series. And he came one day in, he said, "Hey, Coach, do you think you could get the kids up at 5:30 in the morning?" Well, look at the play right here. She's coming around. Oh, this is going to be another home run. You get it out. There it is. You hit a gap in here, you'll be running all the way around. No difference. So anyway, he tells me, he said, "Hey, tomorrow morning, can you get the team up at 5:30? I said, "Wait a minute, I'm the bench coach. I'm the older guy. With the younger coaches, where are they at?" But those little things you have to take care of and keep things moving, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely getting them up in the morning, I would say, is probably one of the bigger challenges.
Put that one in orbit.
There's a funny story of last year in regionals. We had a girl named Tanisha Rodriguez, and she only spoke Spanish. She was in a room with two other players that didn't speak Spanish or understood Spanish. The other two girls missed their alarm, and Tanisha had to call the coach because she was like, "I don't know how to say good, wake up and say good morning. It's time to get up. It's game day, you know."
I'm sure that has to be a challenge sometimes when you're talking about the Spanish players, the Hispanics, and Latin,
yeah.
and speaking that language.
Yeah, Nydia Rodriguez has been such a huge help on our coaching staff, kind of with the language barrier there.
But I'll tell you what, the Latin players, man, do they love the sport, don't they?
Yes.
You know how you're always looking at your players and how they come through with the big hits, and you're looking for a situation where you're trying to find that special hitter that when there's like the bases loaded, the game's on the line, you want to make that hit. And you say this person's an RBI hitter. Is that hard to find, or is that you get a few of those once in a while?
I think you get a few of them every once in a while. I think the hardest thing about it is, like, yes, you get a couple of people who can do it, but it's a matter of finding the people who do it consistently. I mean, I think definitely for our team, I mean, Kayla Lorenzo, who was just up to bat, is definitely one of those players for us. Sarah Fessler, who I know was supposed to be here today, but is not. She's another one of those players. But it's just, you know, finding them isn't too hard. It's just making sure they stay consistent is the challenging portion of it.
Well, I think every good team has to have a couple of those players that you say, "Hey, I'm going to put if I'm going to have one go up there, this is the one I want up there hitting for me that time." And those kids that the more experience they get, the more confidence they get, they step into that role, don't they, Coach?
I do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of the things that I know that we work on, you know, with our team practices, is putting these kids in pressure situations and practices so that they can come through them when it comes to games.
So another walk here. And now coming up is Beyonce O'Neill. She's from Rhodes, and she wants, for a career, to be a psychologist. Does that fit, Coach, or what?
Yeah, no, it definitely fits for her. I mean, she always is one of those people who is just trying to, you know, get next level, and she has great relationships with all of her friends, so I definitely think that's a good career choice for her.
Oh, she's a leader. Let me tell you, she ain't leading yet. She's going to be a leader. I know, it's my favorite now. I got to behave myself. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you guys doing this with us every year.
Oh, you know we love it. It's our favorite thing. We look forward to it every summer.
Every summer.
I hope we come back next summer and we're talking about the same success and the kids gotten better. And And things have been proved. I really do, because I think it will be. And you had a little bit of help with Victoria Etter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This year I had a lot of help from Victoria Etter. She's actually an alumni. I got a chance to play with her in my days, and let me tell you, that girl is one heck of a ball player. I mean, in the box as behind the plate, fundamentally, she's great. She's absolutely great.
She's just another one of those people who you love to have run in your program. You know, she's good. She has a ton of softball knowledge, and she's just such a good person for the community and for the kids.
So what was the region that you guys, what are they calling that region now? Is that they merged it together a little bit?
Yeah, so now we're in the central region. So instead of being in the east regional, which we were before, which on the softball side only had 4 teams, we're now in the central regional, which has 8 teams that we compete against. So not only do you have your Cincinnati and your Detroit and the Pittsburgh Pirates, you also have the Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee Brewers, and a couple other teams.
St. Louis.
And St. Louis as well.
It's pretty nice, you know, being down in Indy and them actually saying that our regional is bigger than the World Series combined. So it was a phenomenal experience, and they actually brought out all the kids from each team and each city onto the field. There was about over 450 kids there alone.
Wow.
So this is 12-4. And if I have it right, it is the American leading, correct?
Yes, the American team is leading.
And we're in the 4th. And if I am correct, this game should be over. And I don't think the umpires realized it yet. And right after this hitter, we will let them know if we get another hitter here. So this will be the final batter of the ball game right here, folks. We're in that run spread area right now. There's a foul off. They always tell me never take the headsets off, you get a squeak, so I apologize, ladies.
Sorry.
So again, that brings us to the end of the ball game because of the run spread. So we want you to stay with us, because when we come back, Alicia and Olivia will be on the field to present the outstanding player of the game, and let's see if you can match them. All the young ladies will receive a medal for playing in today, and we'll be right back after this timeout.
Need food? We can help. The Greater Cleveland Food Bank's Benefits Outreach Department works within the community to help individuals locate food and apply for SNAP and other public benefits. Weekdays, our help center accepts phone calls from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and walk-ins from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 216-738-2067 or stop in our facility at 15500 South Waterloo Road. Our benefits outreach counselors are out in the community every day assisting with benefit enrollment and connecting the community to vital resources. Keep your eye out for our food truck, providing free, fresh produce and SNAP enrollment in the community. For more information, visit www.greaterclevelandfoodbank.org/gethelp.
Welcome back to Talty Field. We had such a great game of softball played today. These were two great teams, and what you guys saw today were some of the best talent that we have in the city of Cleveland. We're so thankful, on behalf of the Cleveland Baseball Federation, that these girls come out and play and put some hard work in all this season. So with that being said, congrats to the American team. And Alicia is with me here. And we are going to present the MVP trophy to pitcher Michelle Gohl. So, first of all, what are some things that you worked on this season that helped you become a really good pitcher throughout the year?
I learned how to hit my spots inside and outside and just not hit up the middle.
What have been some really fun things that you did this summer? Obviously, you're part of the RBI program, so do you want to touch a little bit on that or just your experience you've had with softball this summer?
Softball's been very fun, and like RBI, we're like a big family.
Cool. So Michelle Gohl's pitcher of the day. She held the team to 4 runs and had a fantastic game. So thank you, girls, again for coming out. Thank you for all your hard work this summer, and thank you for everyone else. And back to Tim.
Well, again, you've been watching Senior Girls Fastpitch All-Star Game. And yes, it's been a great day for the young ladies that have got here a chance to play. They've all received their medals. And as you can see, there's a lot of smiling, happy faces. And again, one of the biggest stories behind this all is that many of the girls that you saw here play today will leave Cleveland, Ohio, and they will head for Vero Beach, Florida for August 10th. The date is marked on the calendar to go to the RBI World Series and represent Cleveland, Ohio. We want to wish them the best of luck. But before we leave, we want to take a look at some of the faces and some of the plays that were part of today's game. We want to remind you that next week we'll be right back here on TV20 at Talty Field, where it'll be the Senior Boys Championship game between the Michael Zone Raiders and the Estabrook Sox. For Olivia Wolfup, Alicia Ortiz, I'm Tim Wells. Good night, everyone.